Hey, what's cracking, everybody? Benji Bruce here, and we're going to talk about just being an entrepreneur in general and just preparing friends, family, everybody for your entrepreneurship. Because here's the thing, everybody wants to be an entrepreneur, but they don't understand what it means when it comes to your lifestyle. So what are the social aspects of being an entrepreneur, and how do you prepare your family, your friends for the new you? How do you prepare them for the entrepreneur version of you? So when you essentially become an entrepreneur, you're going to lose friends, you'll lose relationships, even family members, because your time is consumed with building your business, and you will outgrow people mentally, emotionally, in every other way, in every way imaginable. But you don't have time for, you don't have time for the small talk or the small time thinking or the foolishness that other people tend to deal with. You don't have time for any of that stuff. And people who aren't entrepreneurs, they just won't understand you. And they want to talk to you on the phone for 30 minutes, hang out with you just to catch up. But all you can think about is one thing: business. Business, 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 business. That's all you can think about. And people will tell you that you need to take a vacation. Oh, it's not about the money. Have some fun. And what they don't realize is that while they're running away from what they do for a living, you move towards what you do. I mean, this is what you want to do. You love what you do more than going to a club, and they just don't get it. So you see pictures of people at these clubs, these bars. They're looking for, they look like they're having a good time, and you know that they're running away from their lives and they hate what they do. That's why they need a freaking vacation. But you can't stop thinking about what you do, and that's why you honestly don't care about a vacation. And they don't understand your ambition, they don't understand your drive, and instead of coming up to your level, they want you to come down to theirs. And you got to ask yourself, like, what do you do about it? I mean, with all these people saying, hey, you need to take a vacation. Oh, it's not about, what do you do about it? How do you prepare people for all this stuff? How do you let them know that you're building something great and they need to sit on the back burner? I mean, that's pretty much how it is. And entrepreneurs, they don't have time for small talk or little people problems. You're not interested in talking about the weather. You're not interested in gossiping about so-and-so person. You're interested in building, you're interested in creating, and the thing that you want to create, I mean, this is the only thing that you're interested in. So what do you do? And you need to understand that you're not forced to talk to anyone or do anything. I mean, you're not forced to do this stuff. And a lot of people who are starting their business, they don't want to come across as like a jackass for telling someone like, no, I can't meet up with you for lunch. So they end up giving everyone their time because they're afraid to offend someone. And with some people, I mean, you'll need to have this really tough conversation just about what you're doing and what you expect from them, just because of everything that you're going to end up doing. And these are usually the people who are closest to you. And you need to make it as clear as possible. I mean, crystal clear. You need to tell them what you're building. Tell them what you expect of them and how your time is going to be focused on your business. You got to tell them. And you tell them that they can't just call you whenever they want. I mean, in fact, tell them that your phone is going to be off and they need to send you a text or leave you a voicemail if they want you to return that call. Tell them that you have no time for gossip. You honestly do not care about what so-and-so person is doing. And then you got to do it. You turn off your phone. You do not return calls. You do not return a text, and do not feel bad about it. If they aren't willing to step up to your level, then do not go down to theirs. If they're not willing to grow, then there's no reason for you to shrink. They say that if you put, they tend to say, there's a saying that says, if you put a crab in a bucket, then it's going to easily just climb out. So how do you go about getting the crab to stay in? Well, the answer is very easy. You simply put two crabs in a bucket, and what happens is when one crab starts to try to climb out, the other crab just pulls him back in, and the other, he just literally grabs and says, no, you're coming in with me. And that's how you keep crabs in a bucket. If you let other people control your time and your thinking, then you're allowing other people to pull you back down as you're trying to rise. You are just allowing other people to take control of your entire life. And you need to tell people that you're going to the top and they can either come with you or get out of your way. You are 100% responsible for how people engage with you. And if you don't want to talk to someone, do not respond back to them. That's what it comes down to. And if they don't get it, be direct. I mean, just say, listen. In fact, I did this with a friend. A friend actually texted me. He would text me videos that had nothing to do with business. I mean, he knows I'm building a business. He just kept texting me all these videos and emailing me stuff about information I literally did not care about. And he did it all the time. So I told him, I was like, hey, stop texting me this stuff. I really don't care about it. And I literally said it that way. I was like, dude, stop texting me this stuff because I'm really not interested in it. And most people are afraid of confrontation. They don't say stuff like that because they're afraid of confrontation. They're not direct because they don't want to offend anyone. They don't want to come across as a jackass. But I would rather come across as a jackass and live the dream than to cater to someone else's life and not know what could have been mine. I mean, honestly, that's what I'd rather have happen. And you need to accept the fact that you have to be confrontational at times. When you're building a business, you tend to grow more than other people because you have to. When you're growing a business, you have to grow more than other people. That's pretty much, other people are pretty much the same person that they've always been, and you're turning into someone else. And what happens is other people will say things like, man, you've changed. Oh, you're different. You've changed. And you think in your mind, like, you're damn right I've changed. I mean, I'm working on the freaking cure to cancer. I mean, you think I've got time to talk about how John is dating so-and-so and how so-and-so's cheating on so-and-so? I've got more important things to do, more important things to talk about. I can care less about that stuff. And change, it's not a bad thing. It's a requirement for progress. You have to truly believe that what you're doing is more important than what other people are interested in. If you're building a business, it's more important than a freaking poker player who wants to talk about a poker hand. On the other hand, if you're a poker player, then what you're doing is more important than the entrepreneur who's building a business. So whatever you're doing is more important than what this other person's doing. Whatever you're doing is more important than what the other guy is doing. You're growing and other people need to keep up with you. You do not slow down for them. I remember reading a lot about Jay-Z, and a lot of people would say things like, oh, Jay-Z would get a mentor and he'd learn everything from that mentor, and then he'd leave that person. Once he learned everything, he'd soak up all the information and then he'd just leave. And people would say that Jay-Z isn't cool because he just left people behind who helped him. But Jay-Z left the people behind who didn't grow with him. Leonardo da Vinci has this great quote, and it goes like this: "Poor is the pupil who does not surpass the master." Jay-Z surpassed his masters. He learned everything from his mentors, and when they didn't have anything else to offer, he left. I mean, why would you stay when people don't have anything else to offer? If they're not growing, why would you stay? It's inevitable that you're going to leave people behind who don't grow with you. I mean, just think about it. What type of conversation are you going to have with people who aren't growing? They want to talk about some sports game that's going on and you want to talk about business. They want to gossip about so-and-so and you want to talk about how to increase profits. They want to talk about the news and you want to make the freaking news. You need to accept the fact that your life is going to change. The people around you will change. You'll start hanging around more entrepreneurs and other people who are trying to grow. And you need to tell friends and family what to expect. Just say, hey, here's how it's going to work. And they either will accept it or you stop dealing with them because what you're doing is the most important thing that you can do. People around you are going to tell you that they need to talk to you because it's an emergency. Oh, this is an emergency. I got to talk to you. But you need to think like an emergency for who? For you, for me, who's the emergency for? What you consider an emergency and what they consider an emergency can be two completely different things. I mean, just go to an ER in a hospital. Just go to an emergency room in a hospital and you'll see examples of this. Everyone in the ER thinks that they have an emergency. But one person has a broken arm and they're yelling at the nurses like, hey, get someone in here now. My arm is freaking broken. I'm in pain. And they're yelling like, hey, get in here. But the nurse and everyone in the emergency room who works there, they're like, yeah, shut up. Like, this person got shot. This person here got their leg cut off and they're about to bleed out in 2 minutes. This person here got stabbed. Your broken arm, who cares about your broken arm? We'll get to you in just a second. And people will constantly tell you that they need to talk to you because it's an emergency. And then all of a sudden you find out that the emergency is just that, they don't know what they should wear. Should they wear the blue outfit or the white outfit? You got to think like the ER people. You got to think, okay, emergency for who? I mean, just really think about it. And you got to prepare yourself for the change by setting up your own rules for how people are going to talk with you, how people are going to deal with you, and understand that you're not required to return someone's text. You're not required to return someone's call. You don't have to accept the email invitation. You don't have to accept any of it. You don't have to go to lunch with someone. You're building something great. And you want to hang around great people, talk about great things. You have no time for average. And if they don't understand that, then that's their problem, not yours.